Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Max Rants. In today's video, I wanted to talk about, is League of Legends dying? I think this has been a hot topic for many years now, and honestly, it's one that I have mixed feelings on, and I know the whole League community on its own has mixed feelings on, so I just wanted to share my opinion and hopefully get yours in the comments. So if you do have an opinion on this after this video, please leave it down below. So, is League of Legends dying? Well, it depends how you describe League of Legends. Well, first you have the game, which is what I'm playing, and then you have the IP, which is League of Legends as a whole. Let's start off a bit simpler, starting with the game. I wouldn't say League of Legends isn't dying per se, but it really isn't growing either. It's almost stagnant, not going anywhere, not losing, not really gaining anything, but it's there. It's kind of just existing. And people will say League of Legends is dying. Oh my gosh, the end of League. I mean, it's been going on for 15 years. I'm sure there have been multiple times where people have said, oh, this is the end for League, but it's still here. Despite its ups and downs, it's still League of Legends. It's still existing. And, it's probably had a similar player base for the last 5 to 6 years. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say League of Legends is bringing in new players every week. It's not. But there's a reason it's been in the top 5 games of Twitch for years. Through streamers innovating the game in different ways and pro scene, which Riot pours millions of dollars into, it's got interesting things about it. The problem with the game itself, though, is it's kind of boring compared to everything else. And I say that as a thorough League enjoyer. But when you compare it to other League content like cinematics and the highlights of worlds, when you're actually playing, you feel kind of bored. Let's go through the formula of League. Let's say you're playing Nasus top, for example. For the first 5 to 10 minutes, you feel useless, probably getting beaten down by your opponent unless it's another farming lane, just hoping to stack. And then at 25 minutes, when the team fights actually start happening, you get your 1 minute of pure adrenaline and dopamine. And after that team fight, whether you win or lose, you either feel good or feel bad. Then you take as much as you can or lose as much as you can, and repeat. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I explained that very poorly, but you kinda get what I'm saying here. League isn't a action-packed game through and through. It isn't a Valorant or a Siege or a Fortnite. There's lots of downtime in League. And not only that, you have to stay focused almost 24/7. Miss a minion? Oh, there's 15 gold gone. Take a bad trade? Oh, you just lost your tower. It's a very difficult game and can put a lot of stress on a person. And not only that, it's also pretty toxic, which if you want to learn how I think about toxicity in League, check out my first video. But between the difficulty and its toxicity, it's unappealing due to public perception. You constantly see clips of popular streamers crashing out over the littlest things in League, and through that people start judging the game, and it pushes people away. I mean, even past League players have quit playing due to these things and only really watch streamers or pro scene. So League of Legends, the game, isn't really doing anything. The people who play keep playing because they've been playing for years on years, and new players don't play because it's toxic, difficult, and unappealing. I don't think the game is going anywhere anytime soon. I believe that it's got a strong player base for the people who do play it, and it would take something drastic to go out and die on its own. Well, let's transition into something a bit more, broad. League of Legends, the IP. And when I'm talking about IP, I'm talking about the story, Runeterra, the lore, Arcane, all the different stories and merchandise, everything that is League except the game. And I believe that this is where League is thriving. This is where Riot is putting all of their effort. I mean, I just watched season 2 of Arcane, which is absolute peak, by the way, and that show is ginormous. Everyone I've ever talked to either knows about it and seen it, or at least has heard of it. The League universe in itself is very interesting, with over 160 plus characters and a world building that's been going on for 15 years. I think it's 15 years. I keep saying 15 years, but I really don't know. It might have been 12. But anyways, when you have that much time to develop a story, and with such talented writers as well, it's interesting. League of Legends lore is phenomenal, and people have seen the potential of it through Arcane. I mean, that's only incorporated 5 to 6 characters in one region. Not counting Noxus and Imbessa, but you get the point. When you have this much potential, not through just a video game, but more mediums like shows, books, stories, blogs, I don't even know, you have more potential. People are more interested in it. There's nothing uninteresting about the League of Legends lore. People know it's a story. People know that it takes time to develop, and that development is interesting, unlike League of Legends the game, where you're just sitting and farming for 10 to 12 minutes. Not that that's what you do in the game, but it's what people perceive it as. And when people have the option to choose between the game or the lore, most people are going to choose the lore, like Arcane and the cinematics and so on and so forth. I love League of Legends, the IP, and the game. Despite everything, I want to see the game thrive, but that's just not where League is heading. What League of Legends is trying to do right now is use its IP to get people into the game, but what I see in the future is that it's going to slowly delve into more of the IP. It's got more stories, more mediums, it's got different universes through all its skins, and when you have all of this jam-packed into one single 3-letter words, the amount of revenue is almost endless. So in conclusion, I think it's time to go back to the beginning of this video. Is League of Legends dying? The game? No. But it's not really growing either, it's just there. It's held together by the pro scene, dedicated streamers, and a loyal player base. But the IP? That's where League is thriving, and will thrive. Riot has created a universe that's so interesting, it doesn't matter what the game does. They'll just focus more on the IP. And if they get people to play the game and then buy skins, oh well, bonus revenue for us. But as this game is coming to a close, what do you think? Is League of Legends dying? Am I just rambling? Let me know in the comments. Thank you, and goodbye.